here are your hosts of Financially Tuned, Mark Fricks and Tony Shore.
Welcome to another show of Financially Tuned with me, Mark Fricks from MasterPlan Retirement Consultants, and our co-host today, Tony Shore. I tell you what, we're really glad that you're joining us for today's show because we're going to be discussing how to plan for your retirement with the use of fixed index annuities.
Well, that sounds like a great topic. I think that it's one we all need to hear about. There's a lot of talk out there on this topic, and we want to get some things straightened out. So I'm hoping you can set us all straight regarding fixed index annuities and retirement planning. But first, Mark, how have you been? How are you doing?
Oh, Tony, I am so glad you asked. I am doing terrific. I have been busy, and that's what I love. I love being busy. We love helping folks with their retirement and putting together plans. We've added a couple of new advisors, and the office is growing. But more importantly, we've got just enough good new clients and to give us a nice mix. You know, we're very careful, as you know, Tony, about taking on too many clients. So we're selective about who comes aboard. But you know, we're happy to meet with anybody initially, and let's see if we can answer some questions and give you some guidance. And, you know, then if it's a good fit, we'll move from there. But been busy, been teaching a lot of classes, having speaking engagements, and of course, the great time we have recording the radio show.
Well, yeah, I have a lot of fun doing the show each week, and I've been really busy myself. Can't wait for spring finally, you know, the winter to be over. That's always a good thing. And it's going to be a great discussion today for people who have retired or are preparing to retire that are considering, or maybe they've already obtained a fixed index annuity. And these are really popular with all the baby boomers currently entering in retirement. We're hearing a lot about fixed index annuities.
Well, we are. There's good reason, but I want to. I guess the reason for the show today is to take a closer look at them. You know, there are articles out there, both positive and negative. There's good press, there's bad press, there's kind of in the middle press. But most importantly, you know, it's like anything, Tony. There's nothing wrong with the tool itself. It's how you use it. So we're going to be talking about today how they work. What they are good for, maybe what they're not good for, because that's sometimes when people use them the incorrect way is when they're not a great tool. And so I think what's nice about index annuities as we open the discussion is that they just take some of the doubt out of somebody's retirement. So as we look at index annuities today, we're going to look at avoiding stress because we're going to look at organizing assets in ways that help create a structure. And part of that structure is what's for income and what's for growth. And the income, you know, we believe should last a lifetime. And so that's one of the powerful things about the index annuity.
Well, definitely. And you mentioned bad press. Most of the bad press on annuities either was from a while back before we had the current fixed index annuity, or it's on different types of annuities. There are some annuities that get people in trouble. There are many different types, like variable annuities can go up and down with the market. And that's why I think we've seen a big push toward fixed index annuities. They're very popular because the principal's guaranteed. Can you give us an explanation of exactly what a fixed index annuity is?
Well, great question, Tony. Fixed index annuities are products that are created by insurance companies that are meant to address a retiree's need for growth and, more importantly, for a structured income that will last a lifetime. So that's what I think makes fixed index annuities so powerful and such key players in retirement plans. Most of the fixed index annuities that are out there now, and you did mention that some of the bad press were from some of the old ones, and they were not as good of products. But, you know, the new ones are really structured to not only give a potential for some good growth, but also, again, to give you that lifetime income. And that's the reason that we call these types of products a personal pension plan, because it's almost like creating your own pension plan that will last the rest of your life. So you get that structured income like a pension plan, you get growth. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but also your principal is guaranteed. So that's pretty important too.
Well, definitely. And you mentioned pension plan. A pension plan and Social Security, those are annuities. That's basically what a fixed index annuity is. It's a plan like that that's going to give you a regular payout. You can get a monthly income from it that's guaranteed, and I think that's really important. Now, when considering a fixed index annuity, I understand there are factors that you should take into consideration. What are some of those factors that people need to be aware of?
Well, certainly, anytime you are putting money into an investment or an account, you need to understand how they work. And what I tell our clients, Tony, and I think this is really important, is that there is no perfect tool available. All tools have positives and negatives. It's just like a mutual fund. You know, the positive is you can make good money. The negative is there are fees involved and you can lose money. And so there are purposes for mutual funds. Well, it's the same thing with a fixed index annuity. So some of the things to be aware of is, first of all, they are long-term investments. If you're looking for a place to put money for 6 months or a year or even 2 years, probably not the best place to put your money as a fixed index annuity. It is a long-term situation. You do need to be aware of any fees that could be involved. Many of the fixed index annuities we use have no fees, but sometimes they would include a fee or maybe a rider charge. You also need to be aware of surrender charges if you leave the account early. Kind of like a CD. If you leave it early, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. You also have to be aware that there are taxes payable when you take money out, whether it's an IRA annuity or a non-IRA annuity. Also, if you're not 59 and a half, you could incur a 10% penalty if you take money out. So that's something to be aware of. And finally, Tony, just to be sure we're on the right wavelength here, it's important to understand that annuities are not guaranteed by any government agency. They're not guaranteed by the FDIC or anything like that, but they are protected and guaranteed by the insurance company that has issued it. So be aware of that as well. And finally, just consider, when you're purchasing an index annuity, what your objectives are, what the risks are, charges, expenses, and the kind of the time period on the index annuity as well.
Sure, and that's why folks need to talk to you if they're going to do something like this, because you really need a professional to look at your situation to make sure it's right for you, correct?
Absolutely. That's really critical. And just to walk into a bank or walk into maybe even go online and buy an annuity is I would really advise against that. You really need to sit down and not only understand how it works in and of itself, but Tony, understand how it works as part of your plan. It can't be bought in a vacuum. It's got to be part of that retirement roadmap we talk so much about. So that's really critical as well.
Right. Well, now that we have that broad overview of what a fixed index annuity is, why would someone want to consider having a fixed index annuity?
Well, that's kind of a simple answer, Tony. If we've been getting a paycheck for all of our life as we've been working, and now we're reaching or approaching retirement, how do we plug in that missing paycheck? Well, you can start taking money out of investment accounts and savings accounts, but that's not really income. That's withdrawals, and that's that's so much guesswork involved, because who knows if that investment goes down? You just took a pretty good pay cut, So what's nice about the index annuity is that it is a guaranteed income stream for as long as you live. Even if the account goes to zero, Tony, that money will continue being paid to you as long as you live. And if it's set up correctly, it could even be paid as long as your spouse lives. So it replaces that paycheck. So when you start looking at your income in retirement, we of course start with Social Security and how can we maximize that. But what plugs the gap? What else do you need coming in? And that's where the index annuity can really be a powerful tool to plug that gap so that you have income the rest of your life. And I tell you what, Tony, that gives our clients a huge, huge peace of mind.
Well, sure, I bet it does. You know what? Our time is up for this portion of the show. We have to take a quick commercial break. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with us before we do?
Well, Tony, we have a couple of publications that are available on our website. If you'll visit the website, if you'll go to publications, or also there's one or two other tabs that are listed there, you can order one of those. We have a retirement income toolkit, just several publications. Look through those, or you can watch some of the educational videos that we have posted. The website's found at MasterPlanYourRetirement.com. or give our office a call and you can order those or just schedule a complimentary consultation. We'll be glad to chat with you about how index annuities might fit into your plan. That phone number is 770-980-9262.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that, Mark. We're going to be right back with more from Mark Fricks on Financially Tuned right after this.
To hear the rest of the show or for more information, go to masterplanyourretirement.com or call Mark at 770-980-9262 to schedule an appointment.